What's going on, everybody? Felrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle content. I wasn't going to do it, but man, this team, you guys know this team. So this is some Ultra League battles this week. Popping off with a triple Shadow team. You guys have seen this team before in a couple videos ago, I believe, when I was running the Great League. Except now they're all Shadows and they're all in Ultra League. So, Shadow Walrein on the lead. Shadow Kanto Sandslash to close these games out, and Shadow Nidoqueen in order to save swap drought those ice types for Walrein to come in and deal with those with a defense drop or some huge damage off the earth power. This team, man, if you want some games that don't end in timeouts, this is the team for you. Also, I do not recommend building Kanto Sandslash as a Shadow. This thing is stupid expensive and you'll never use it. But it is fun. If you're flush with Dust XLs and have a Shadow Slash, go for it. Also, little Maggie's here today to be my partner in crime. We're going to shoutcast these battles. I hope you enjoy. Let's get right into it. First game here, we've got Walrein on the lead versus Drapion. Pretty neutral matchup. Got to be careful about how spammy this Drapion is, but they swap out immediately into Machamp, and they get met with Nidoqueen. I'm going to hard counter him as hard as I can because you know what? Shadow Kanto Sandslash does not really like seeing fighters because of how spammy they are, and the spammy move that Sandslash gets is Night Slash, which is not good against fighters. So, I'm expecting this to be a payback. They counted up to 9, so I'm going to respect it. It is a payback, and that's a huge shield in this case. Going to farm down the rest of the way. Drapion is going to come in, and it's got to load up on energy before it can even threaten my Nidoqueen. So I'm going to go straight for a Poison Fang here, thinking, oh, well, maybe they're going to throw one move, try and get him. But nope, my opponent calls the bait like a champion, and now I'm going to go straight for the Earth Power, but instead I'm going to bait again because, again, they need to farm up a bunch of energy to take me out. They're running Aqua Tail, though, so not as much energy, but I'm going to threaten the Earth Power. What I want to do here is I'm actually going to throw a second Poison Fang after this because I know they're not going to let me get to an Earth Power, and then I'm going to use that defense drop to either make them want to switch out against Walrein, or what I'll do is farm, because that's 3 defense drops, and they got both shields. They completely lost track of my energy, and now they're shieldless against the Kanto Sandslash, and unless they've got a Mandibuzz in the back, this is pretty much over. I don't know if y'all have ever seen a Shadow Kanto Sandslash. You're gonna see it. Those earthquakes, they clap so hard. Earthquake is going to come through against this Alolan Ninetales that swapped in, and it's going to do some decent damage. Alolan Ninetales is pretty thick, so I am not super worried about it. I'm going to save my shield for my Sandslash. Maggie needs a better point of view. There you are, sweetheart. So I'm going to get that Ninetales down into farming range. I purposely threw the Icicle Spear here to get it down so I could shield once and then farm it all the way down with these Mud Shots. And then all I have to do is Earthquake against the Drapion, and here it comes. Drapion is going to get a Shadow Kanto Sandslash Earthquake. Can we get a kaboom in this one? Yes, we can. There it is, even though it's only half a health bar. That's enough for me, and that's a good game. Getting into this next battle, we've got Walrein against Nidoqueen. The Dream League, you love to see this. I know they're going to swap, so I'm waiting to see on the top right what they swap in, and they come in with, I thought it was a Scrafty, but they come in with the Spice. Pangoro comes in, and I just have to go here for some Poison Fangs. I'm not necessarily looking to dominate this thing. I'm actually not going to shield here because all they can do is throw Close Combat or Night Slash, and I'm not really worried about either one, to be honest. So, Night Slash is going to come through. I also didn't know how much it does because I've never actually faced a Pangoro before, so this is kind of a science experiment for me. Now, they're going to go for another Night Slash here. They did not get up to a Close Combat. And now I'm going to be able to farm down and have a bunch of energy loaded for that Nidoqueen that's coming back in. They're going to try and farm me down. Once again, because I have so much energy, I can bait with a Poison Fang, and I can still get to an Earth Power. So they're probably thinking, oh, they've only got one more move left, right? So they shield the Poison Fang, and I'm going to get to the Earth Power with 1 HP, with a sliver of red health. And do they shield? Are they going to put up their other shield? Absolutely not. Kaboom indeed. And there's a Granbull to get screwed. We don't do Charmers in this team. We don't do Charmers here. Get out. No Granbulls allowed. Good game, well played to my opponent. Talonflame lead. You know what? It's neutral, but I need to get Sandslash away from this thing at all costs. And I don't want the chance that they have, you know, something in the back that deals with this, like their own wall rain, you know? And they're running Pidgeot, so that's fine. So my Nidoqueen's absolutely loaded. I want to be able to get like 3 Poison Fangs off on this thing before it can get to a move. But I save swap immediately. I kind of just do it based on how I'm feeling at the time. I don't always save swap right away because Walrein is a really good matchup against Talonflame. But what I want to do is I want to see if I can draw out that Ice type, because Talonflame is a flying type. It's naturally good against fighters. It's also naturally good against a lot of the things in this meta that beat Walrein. Now, I shielded, they Feather Danced me. They could have gone for Brave Bird either way. I think it was a good shield, because now I can swap out with all that energy, and now I can come in with Walrein. They have a Pidgeot in the back with a Talonflame. I'm wondering if they're running a triple flying team here. They know shield. They're going to save both shields for whatever's in the back. I'm eager to see what it is, because I don't know what it is. But Brave Bird comes through, absolutely claps Walrein, and then a Shadow Zapdos comes in and farms down. And this is spice, ladies and gentlemen. But my opponent has made one fatal error here. They are against a loaded Nidoqueen. Now, I'm not sure if they had really enough energy to get to a move there, but they got there. That's unfortunate. I have to go down. I was really hoping to get that other Poison Fang off, but now it's Sandslash against Shadow Zapdos, and even though Shadow Zapdos has Thunderbolt Drill Peck, I'm going to be able to get to these Night Slashes before my opponent is going to be able to get to a second Drill Peck. And you know what? Defense drop and a very glassy Zapdos. These Night Slashes are going to do a lot of damage. So let's see. Does it take out the Shadow Zapdos? They don't even commit a shield. Shadow Zapdos goes down. That's over half its health with one Night Slash, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lot of damage. Maggie, you're sinking, sweetie. There you go. Night Slash, I have basically 2. You throw with good timing to get 2 of these Mud Shots in inside of the Incinerate timing, and that is going to be able to get me that second Night Slash, and that is a good game. Well played, and I absolutely respected the spice. That was an amazing team. Triple Flyer, you don't see it a lot, but Shadow Zapdos in its own right is amazing. Swampert, another glorious lead, because you don't want to see it in the back, and Walrein actually does very well against it. Now, my opponent brings in Beware. I bring in Nidoqueen, and I know that this thing is probably rocking the usual moveset of Superpower Payback. And I also know, from watching some of our fellow content creators, that Beware hits like a freaking truck. So, I have to respect a Payback here. A Payback could probably one-shot my Nidoqueen. And because they're getting low on health, that's probably what they're going for here. They're probably not going to bait me. So they go for the Payback, and I shield it up, and I'm fine with that. Now I'm going to go farm down. The only thing I have to fear at this point is Resistant Superpower. But I want you all to see how much damage that this Superpower is going to do to Nidoqueen. That's a lot, okay? That's quite a bit of damage. Now, Swampy's going to come back in. Try and get some of that free farm in. But you know what? It's not. It's an Escavalier. So once again, playing the mind games with my opponent. This is actually something that I've started to do a lot with Shadow Nidoqueen when I put her as a save swap. Is if she's able to win swap, I'm going to play the mind games with my opponent, and I'm going to go for a Poison Fang, even though I probably should just go for Earth Power. They take it, they shield, and then they put both shields into Escav, and I've got a shield. So I'm going to be able to get some Night Slashes here. And the only thing I have to worry about is a Swampert in the back. I've got a full health Walrein, and you know what? We get to the Earthquake. Have you ever seen what a Shadow Kanto Sandslash's Earthquake does to a Swampert? You're about to find out. Takes out 85% of its health, dude. It's insane. And I'm going to be able to get to this Night Slash and force a CMP tie with my opponent, which means I get to farm this down with Walrein, and then I'm just going to go for an Earthquake against the Escav, and that's pretty much it. And so opponent's not going to be able to get to a move here. That's huge for me. And now opponent's top lefts. They know the Earthquake's coming, and that's it. That's a good game. People run an Escav in Open Ultra League, and it's scary because that thing is terrifying. So, Walrus lead. This is probably one of my least favorite leads because I can't swap, and I have to play it out. So, I always do the same thing I do in Great League. I shield both the Earthquakes because my opponent usually doesn't bait. And if my opponent tanks one, I start baiting. But now everybody in the world knows my secret, so use that information as you will. But I need to win this lead at all costs, or what I'll also do, which I still do the same thing as I was doing in my Great League team, come in with Nidoqueen when the Walrein is very slow, or very low, and very, in the mood of farming, not expecting me to swap in and snipe it. But I'm going to continue playing out this terribly boring lead here. Will shield up this Earthquake. I do have to give up both shields to ensure that I'm going to win the lead here. I don't really have much of a choice, because if this Walrein gets through my Walrein, then it's going to be a very, very, very bad time for me. I basically have to bring in Nidoqueen and hope that she can Poison Jab down whatever health is left, so that's why I'm starting to bait at this point. Because now what I'm able to do is, if my opponent doesn't shield, then what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to put their HP down to a point where Nidoqueen can come in right after they throw energy. And I have to soak an Earthquake. It sucks, but it has to happen. So Earthquake's going to come in, hitting Shadow Walrein in the face for about 60% of its health, and I'm going to come in and snipe down with Nidoqueen. There goes the Walrus and all of its blubbery goodness. And in comes the ex-king of the Ultra League, Giratina Altered, locked in against my Nidoqueen. That's a bad matchup if I've ever seen one. But Earth Power still chunks, and I've got a lot of health. Nidoqueen's very thick, even though she's a Shadow. Now, man, still going to be able to rip through this Giratina, though, despite it. I used to run a non-Shadow Nidoqueen. I recently finished this after we had the Spring into Spring event. I finally got enough XLs to make my Shadow. Shadow's always better in Nidoqueen. If you're on the fence about which one to build, go for the Shadow. Same thing with Drapion, honestly. Those are the two. Oftentimes for Ultra League, almost every time, if you can build a Shadow, just build a Shadow. Like, almost hands down. So, Talonflame now. This is rough. So, my only play here is to try and load up on energy and then force them to throw there and own energy, because Talonflame is all that's left, into my Sandslash. I'm just going to try and get as many Night Slashes off as I can with good timing, trying to hopefully maybe get them to throw the Brave Bird here, because if they can, then I just basically need 2 Icicle Spears, and that's really it. But nope, my opponent's going to throw the Flame Charge. I'm going to go for the Night Slashes here. I've got 2 Night Slashes loaded, and before they get to another move, I'm going to be able to get a third one off. That's how spammy this thing is. Like, a lot of people were sleeping on Kanto Sandslash after its Community Day back in March. I saw how much an Earthquake did, and I'm like, I got to use this thing, man. I got to find a team, and I got to build it. And honestly, Kanto Sandslash has become one of my favorite things to use in GBL. Those Earthquakes hit so hard, dude. Anyway, my win condition there was basically getting that third Night Slash off and not going down to the the Incinerate. So, well played to my opponent. That was an unfortunate loss. They outplayed me, and they won on the CMP at the end there. So, here we go again. Let's run it back. Walrein into Talonflame. I think this one, yep, still going to save swap out just because it's an ABB line. And I'm going to bring out Suicune. So hopefully this is their hardest ground type counter. And I'm going to be able to Poison Fang down Suicune. I'm not going to go for the Earth Power in this case, just because Earth Power doesn't need to be used here. I can think Poison Fangs are more than enough. Suicune is thick, but it's not thick enough to the point where I need a giant amount of chip damage. So Poison Fang spam is going to come through. Now, my opponent has basically another Ice Beam. And it's either a Bubble Beam or an Ice Beam, or it could be a Hydro Pump, but they didn't build up to the Hydro Pump, so I am going to go ahead and continue to farm down here, knowing that I can just shield the next move if they get to it, which they do. I'm going to win switch here. I would rather win switch because of all the energy I've got pent up on my Nidoqueen. Even though I'm down a shield, those Poison Jabs and Poison Fangs are going to add up very quickly. So they come back in with Talonflame, and I will once again, I'll throw with as best timing as I can, because I know that I can survive one Incinerate, and then I just need one more Poison Fang to get to the next one, which is going to hopefully draw a shield from my opponent here, and going to be able to get to it, which is fantastic. So Nidoqueen is going to get this Poison Fang off and get the shield, which is really big. And then Walrein's going to come in, and I have to tank this. I think I have to tank this, because I need to save a shield for Sandslash. So I will shield it. It could be the Brave Bird, and it's a Brave Bird, and that does a lot of damage. And Greedent comes in. Greedent is dangerous because it's doing a lot of Bullet Seed damage to my Sandslash. But got to see if they respect the Earthquake. We all know how thick this squirrel is. Thickest thighs in the East. But do they respect the Sandslash's Earthquake? I don't think they do. I'm going to hit it just because that's a big, thick squirrel, and that's a lot of damage to this squirrel. Now, they're in Night Slash range, ladies and gentlemen, and now I'm in control of the spam, and either I get them to force them to throw all their energy, or they're basically going to have to go down to the Walrein. Now, Walrein's got to move, I believe. I think I had to look at the move, but I just need to get to Night Slash. They're going to try and farm me down. They're not going to be able to farm Sandslash down. They got greedy with energy, and I'm going to be able to get to this Night Slash and take it out, And then immediately, I should be able to switch into Walrein, go for the Icicle Spear, and take out the Talonflame. And that is going to be a good game. Couple of combo plays in this video. Very good. And we're just one move short. We get there, and that's it. Well played to my opponent. Battle against Yonkis. I saw his name and I trembled in fear because this man has always managed to beat me just about every time we've played. But he's got Talonflame into my Walrein. I'm going to farm up as much as I can. And then he comes in with a Tapu Fini, and I'm like, oh man, this man, he's got the Tapu Fini. I come in with my Nidoqueen because that's my only answer. I can't stay in with Walrein, and I have to shield up the Surf to ensure that I win switch because I cannot let this thing get against my Sandslash, and I also can't let any other potential water or fairy type against my Sandslash. So I'm going to play this out. I will commit one shield, and then I'm going to be able to get to this Poison Fang before Yonkis is able to get to the next Surf. Will he shield or not? Let's find out. Yonkis does not commit to shield. Tapu Fini goes down, and he's going to come back in with Talonflame. I'm just going to do as much damage as I can. Go for the Poison Fang. Nope, he's able to get there right when I get to the Poison Fang. Good timing by Yonkis. He's going to be able to take me out with a Flame Charge. I'm going to come back in with my somewhat loaded Walrein. He's got Primarina. I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. I'm either going to get a shield or do some great chip damage here. And then I'm going to come straight in with Sandslash, hoping this thing doesn't have Earth or doesn't have Waterfall. And it has Charm, which is great. I don't remember the counts for the Charm moveset that this thing has. So I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake. And ladies and gentlemen, you're about to find out how much damage Primarina takes from this Earthquake. Absolutely dominated. One shot. The whole Primarina, and I am just going to leave my last shield for the Walrein and let it finish the job. Flame Charge is going to go off, and I'm going to survive with just a little bit of HP. Night Slash is going to go off, and then Walrein's going to be able to finish this matchup. But at this point, Yonkis has top lefted. He did not want to play the rest of this matchup. Well played, man. Sorry for the hard counter, but that was a great game. Next battle here, we've got Walrein into Umbreon, the thickest dark type in the Ultra League. Tied with Mandibuzz. I don't even know if it's as thick as Mandibuzz, but it's close. Anyway, we're both playing this out. It's kind of neutral. I want to do some chip damage to this thing at least. Get it to use all of its energy before I swap out. Trying to swap, but the game doesn't register it very well. Now, my opponent's not running Psychic. They didn't even bother to build up to it, so I'm going to let this go. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage, just a foul play. And they're going to come in with the Skarmory. The hardest counter that I could possibly think of in this Ultra League is the Skarmory. So, just going to go throw Earth Powers. I'm going to get as many Earth Powers off as I can. And then Walrein's going to come in and do some work afterwards. So, I do remember, though, that I had enough energy to have an Earthquake ready on the Walrein. So, it's ready to let the Icicles fly once we get there. But am I going to be able to get to this with, like, 1 HP? I'm getting to another Earth Power to put this thing down, either within good farm range or within Icicle Spear range. And I'm going to come straight in with this Walrus and go for the Icicle Spear before they can do anything. But they go for a fast move anyway, which is good for my opponent. Waiting to see what I do. Go for a fast move first. But gonna get this Icicle Spear off and take out the Skarmory before it can use any of its energy on me. And then Talonflame's gonna come in. Now with good timing, I'm gonna start throwing off these Icicle Spears. I've still got so much energy on my Walrein that I'm gonna be able to blitz this thing down with ice really fast. Here comes another Icicle Spear. Walrein is doing what it does best, man. It's just taking things to town with a spammy Icicle Spears. Gonna grab a shield from my opponent, which is huge. I will continue to play this out because I would much rather have this on my Walrein and not on my Sandslash. So they're gonna go for the Flame Charge. I have to shield this. I have 2 shields at this point. I'm gonna continue throwing with good timing again. Two turn moves into an Incinerate, so Mud Shots, Powder Snows, Poison Jabs. Put 2 of those into an Incinerate to get the most energy, to give your opponent the least amount of energy. And I am now forced to with a decision. I have to shield this because I know I have an Icicle Spear ready to go before they get their next move off. But the Umbreon comes back in, and now no shields are up. And I get the chance to Earthquake an Umbreon. And it's going to be good, because even though it's an Umbreon, you all saw how much damage that these Earthquakes have done so far in this video. You're going to get to see how much damage it does to an Umbreon. It's not the whole health bar, but it's enough. And you know what? Any unshielded Earthquake from Shadow Kanto Sandslash gets a kaboom in my book. So it's going to take out a lot of HP from Umbreon, about 55% or so, it looks like. And now it's within Night Slash range. They're going to go for Last Resort, trying to do as much damage as they can with one move. Definitely would go for foul plays there. Yeah, you probably could have gotten to another foul play, my friend, but that's okay. Last Resort, if it's the last attack you throw, does actually do more damage, so that was still the right call. Gets the boost on the Sandslash on that last Night Slash, and now Talonflame is going to have to go down to the Night Slash, and that is a good game. Little girl's getting stinky. Rumbly bumbly. Alright, another great lead in Giratina Altered. Expecting them to switch out, they go straight to Clefable. And you know what? If you lead Giratina and you save swap Clefable, you're probably running Double Charm. And you know what I like to do? Destroy Double Charm teams. I get you want to do your sets nice and quick. You don't want to think about it. But we don't do Double Charm in this house. No, sir. Nidoqueen is going to come and destroy that Clefable. Then the Giratina is definitely going to come back in. And it's going to be hit with as many Earth Powers as I can muster before it's able to take out my Nidoqueen. And then I'm going to let Sandslash come in afterwards. Or the Walrein, not picky. Both will be able to take care of this Giratina just fine. And then afterwards, just going to have to see where the chips fall. I'm expecting a Charmer in the back. It's just a matter of if it's Togekiss or if it's a Alolan Ninetales. Most of them are Alolan Ninetales, though. Just simply because of the fact that Alolan Ninetales has Weather Ball. Makes it very spammy, makes it a very good choice for the Ultra League here. So I'm going to come back in with the Walrein just to keep my alignment here. And then they're going to come in with that Charm Alolan Ninetales, which is normally tough for me to deal with. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw the Earthquake. And I'm going to try and get a shield. Or get this thing down low health. Gets the shield, which is just fine with me. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build up some energy just so I can Icicle Spear the Giratina if it comes down to it. And then Shadow, Kanto, Sandslash is going to charge up so much energy with 2 shields. I'm going to be able to get 2 Earthquakes here. And that's what I need. That's the recipe to win right now, is getting another Earthquake off. So they're going to come in and get that Charm off and then get a Weather Ball through. Now that, keep in mind, this is all their energy. I've been counting. They're at 0. They need 6 more to get to the Weather Ball. 3. And we're going to CMP tie to the next Earthquake. You want to get that Earthquake off after all, aren't we? Yes, indeed. So we're going to continue to play this out. Going to get to the Earthquake just before the opponent gets to the Weather Ball. Earthquake is going to come through and absolutely destroy this Ninetales. And then Giratina is going to come back in and it's going to get hit with a Night Slash before my Sandslash goes down. And remember, we have energy on the Walrein, going to be able to quick swap in, combo play with Walrein and get this Icicle Spear off and take out the opponent's Giratina, and that is a good game. Double Charm can get the heck on out of here. Not in my house. Alright, final game of this video here. We've got Swampert lead, a Shadow Swampert at that. So, Shadow Water types duking it out here. And the opponent's Swampert is staying in, which is very strange, but also fine with me, because if I don't have to deal with Swampert on the lead, that's fine. But my opponent made an amazing catch using the Force itself to catch this Icicle Spear, resisted on the Alolan Ninetales, and I build up just a little bit of extra energy, and then I'm going to come up with my Nidoqueen, and I'm just going to Poison Fang it all the way down. Remember those mind games you were playing earlier? I'm going to play them again with my opponent. Now, I feel like my opponent has a surveillance camera on me or something, because like they just know. They just know. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish. I'm going to tank the Weather Ball because I know I can, and I don't want to give this Swampert any farm if I don't have to. But Swampert is definitely going to come back in here. And it's just a matter of whether they want to farm or not. And they don't. They want to give me any chance to get this energy off. They want to throw a move here to force me to shield or go down, which is a very good play by my opponent. I'm going to get this Poison Fang off, and I'm going to try and get a shield, because an Earth Power from my Shadow Nidoqueen would do a lot of damage. I get the shield, and I'm going to go for the Earth Power. My opponent does another fantastic catch, getting triple hard countered in this game. Just about. It's really double hard countered because, you know, Sandslash had no play here, but the Walrein did plenty of work on its own. But comes in with the Pidgeot, catches my Earth Power like an absolute boss. But now, unfortunately, the Walrein is going to be able to finish off this match, get the Icicle Spear off of my opponent. And I have almost 2 Icicle Spears loaded already. One is going to get the shield, and the other one is going to do a ton of damage. And at this point, I know that, and I will let the move go. Whatever it is, Earthquake, Hydro Cannon, whatever it is. And I just need to get in with 1 shield with my Sandslash, get to a Night Slash, and that will be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. This game was by far the best skill display of skill by an opponent that I had all day. because the catches that they had, just the ability to sense the force was amazing. So very well played to this opponent. Thank you so much for this battle. And honestly, thank you to all my opponents for these battles, except for the double charm team. That was atrocious. But no, this team had an amazing run. I think I went 11-4 with it when I played 3 sets. Somehow avoided all of the lag and nasty stuff, but basically took the idea from the team that I went 40-10 with in the Great League a few weeks back. You know, that one was also the same comp, you know, Walrus Double Ground. And it's been great. So I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this video. Thank you so much. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to my patrons. And also, just wanted to let you guys know that I'm on Metafy now. So if you're looking for PvP coaching, I've got all kinds of lesson plans and lessons and live coaching, everything that you can do. If you want to get better at PvP, if you feel like you can improve, hit me up in the Metafy, link in the description and in this video. Help you improve in whatever way you feel, even if it's just, you know, grasping a concept or trying to get some battles in. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, everybody, and I will catch you next time in the next video. Bye-bye.